crafty friends, Jen Cassell here. I'm back with another Christmas in July tutorial. This I did for my Barely Art design team for my second project this month. And this is an SVG file from Creative Fabrica that I will also link in the description box. Now, if you head on over to Creative Fabrica, I do have a 1 month free that you can try. You get access to millions of fonts and SVGs. I've been designing with their stuff since the beginning of the year, and the subscription is worth its weight in gold. I mean, just look at this cute SVG file. How cute is this? So if you head on over to Barely Art, you can use my coupon code JenCassell for 10% off your purchase. Barely Art too has a bunch of great free SVGs. Their glue is superb, and if you haven't tried their cubies, check them out. They're foam adhesive, but the adhesive is a lot better quality than anything you're gonna find at the dollar store. But let's get back to this adorable project here. So believe it or not, I made this. This is just a Cricut craft board that I used for the base. And then I did a really cool technique with my Barely Art craft glue to give it this hammered look. And I hope the camera is picking up the texture on this, because man, it is a really cool look. And I mean, it's completely transformed the paper. So I did leave it bare on the bottom so you can kind of see. Sorry, I know it's a little wonky. This is just the flat craft board from Cricut. And then I did a really cool technique. Once I was done with giving it the faux hammered metal finish, I went through with some faux snow, and I did some handmade poinsettias at the top, along with, these are some die cuts from Creative Fabrica as well. It was included with the poinsettia SVG file that I used for all of the flowers here. And then you'll just find some florals from Michael's on there. There's some really cool stamens, just to give it a little extra pop of red. I did the same thing down here, just a little smaller flower this time. And then that candle does light up. Obviously, make sure that you use an electric candle. You cannot put a real candle in there, but this is what it looks like when it's all lit up. And you can see I surrounded the candle. I made kind of like a faux green wreath to go in there. But I do have a tutorial for you. Don't hesitate to leave your questions in the comment section. This is a surprisingly easy file to put together. Just take your time, as you would with any 3D SVG. You really want to take your time to make sure that those edges are crisp and your folds are spot on. All right, so on to the tutorial. All right, so here are the components of the lantern. Starting from this side, this is the tip of the lantern, and then we're gonna go into the top roof of it. This is your middle portion here, along with this, and then this is your base right here. To create the hanging portion of the lantern, I am going to need these 5 pieces here. These are slightly different. They don't have the tabs, and I am going to glue these together using a little of my Barely Arts glue. This fine tip makes it super easy to do all of these tiny little pieces. I'm then going to grab one of these tab portions. Make sure that you create those tabs right on the dotted line. This is a super easy SVG file to use. Adding a little more glue, and then I am going to pop this on top. I'm going to do my tabs again. This time I'm going to do the tabs in the opposite direction. And once again, I'm going to use my Barely Art to go around these tabs. Now you're left with something that looks like this. I've already went through with my bone folder and made sure to fold in all of these tabs. I am going to use a little of my Barely Art right here on these two, and then I'm just gonna fold it in. Make sure you're taking the time to really line things up and making sure everything is dry before moving along. So I'm using my desk to really press these down. Now I'm going to add my tabbed portion, and I'm just gonna go in through the hole at the top and then add just a tiny bit of glue to either of these tabs and press them down. As you can see, I'm kind of pinching on the one side and pressing down on the other. I'm going to do the exact same thing with this side here. Just insert those tabs and then adding just a tiny bit of glue on the other side of the tab and then pressing down. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with that pinching, holding this steady, and then I'm using my thumb to press down. Once that's in place, add a little more glue to the tabs and then press this upwards. Once again, make sure everything is dry before moving along to the next portion. Use your desk to really add some pressure to that. You're gonna leave this portion open at the top so we can add it to the top of our lantern. Bit of a technical difficulty with my camera in this portion, so you're not actually going to see me gluing it together, but as you can see, I'm just folding in these tabs, making sure that I've got a really clean straight edge, and I'm going to add the adhesive to the long portion in the center to create a pyramid type shape. I'm then going to add glue to the smaller triangular tabs to form a slight box. You are not going to want to add adhesive to the bottom of the box at this point. You want to leave it open so you are going to be able to put the hanging portion of the lantern inside and then glue it. Then you will add the adhesive to create the flat bottom. Okay, I have all of my tabs folded inwards, hanging on top like this. Now I'm going to go through and glue these little tabs here, just the tiny little triangles. And once you have all of the small triangles done, you're just going to add glue around here as well. And as you can see, I'm just using my table to press that in. So this is what we have for now. Let's set this aside to cure and we'll move on to the base. Okay, so to do the base, you're going to need just this simple square piece and then this 4-piece lantern. You are going to want to add a little glue to the tab right here to make sure this is nice and put together. So now we're just going to put this on top like that. So let's add our glue. Okay, so I have this right here, and once again, I am going to set this aside. All right, I've brought in these 3 components for the base, and you're gonna wanna take your Barely Art and add some glue to this tab here and just line up. All right, I've got this one on. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing with this tab here. So at this point, you should have this here. And these tabs are actually all going to go on the interior, and those are the ones that we are going to do next. Now we have our second layer of tabs. And finally, these tabs here. And I'm gonna do these ones at the exact same time. For the final portion of the SVG file, you have the tea light holder here. When I put mine on, I am actually just going to bring these around like this because I'm gonna keep it glued there so it'll cover it up at the bottom. I did not fold on these score lines. All I did was take my bone folder. I did really tuck these in. So what I'm gonna do is add some Barely Art to these tabs, and then I'm also going to add some adhesive right here to this final tab. I'm gonna bring it over like that, close up my tea light holder, make sure that this is nice and straight where you want it to be, following along those dotted lines, and then set it down. What you should have left over is something that looks like this. And of course, I'm gonna put the glue right there, so it'll sit like this. You won't even be able to tell, okay? Now, we're gonna put together our lantern. I'm gonna start with this base. I'm going to add my glue to the lantern bottom. All right, so this is what we have right here. And then I'm gonna move on to the last portion. All right, ta-da! Super fun. So, of course it would just be great like this, no questions asked. But I am going to show you how I am going to give it more of like a vintage hammered finish. So that is when I'm going to grab my stiff bristled brush, and for this one I'm going to use the larger one. I'm going to grab my Barely Art glue. I'm gonna pour a little inside my palette. Now just taking that glue, and I'm just going to start pouncing on here. And those stiff bristles are going to create a texture. It's also going to add a dual purpose of really kind of giving this a nice sealant and make the piece a bit sturdier as well. All right, so I have glue all over my piece, and now I'm just gonna set it aside and let it dry. I'll be right back. All right, so this is about 75% dry, but look at how it has transformed this. I mean, how cool is that? That texture is amazing. So now I'm gonna go in with some of that silver metallic, and I'm just gonna put a little on my palette. I'm gonna go in with my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna hit those corners. All right, so here's my finished piece. I love it. Absolutely love how it turned out. And like I said, if there's some spots that you're unhappy with, you can go in with some black paint and cover it up if you'd like. So now it's really just down to decorating. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have my florals on. I am so happy. I ended up doing some of the florals around the tea light stand. So the tea light itself will come out, but I did glue down the tea light holder portion. And then I just did a little cluster up here with one of these handmade poinsettias. This is a file from Creative Fabrica. And if you'd like to see a tutorial on how I do my poinsettias, let me know in the comments section. I also do have some of these cute little sprigs that came with the poinsettia I like the look of putting the paper with the faux florals. I just think it's a really cute look, but I love how this turned out. There's another mini cluster down here at the bottom. I'm really thrilled, but I am gonna go a step further and I'm gonna show you how I do my faux snow for my Christmas project. To start off with, I grabbed this Aleene's glitter snow, and this is kind of like a puff paste with a little bit of glitter to it, but I like to kick that glitter up a notch, and then I grabbed some of this. This is my favorite glitter from Martha Stewart. It has been discontinued. It's this beautiful white iridescent that I absolutely love, and I use the glitter duster from Stampers Anonymous to just pump the glitter on so you get a really cool mist instead of like the chunkies. But I did grab some chunky glitter too, and I'm gonna use that as well, I think. So you'll want a paintbrush to use the faux glitter. It's like pasty when you put it on, and then I'm just gonna kind of throw it on in some spots. Okay, so I have my faux snow on there. I went pretty crazy with it. I just really like the look. I like how frosted it looks. Super fun. So now I'm going to grab, I like to use a little tray when I'm doing this. And I'm gonna grab my glitter duster and I'm just gonna start pumping. The snow can kind of dry a little quickly, so I'm actually gonna grab some more of my Bearly art and I'm gonna tap it on a couple of spots here that I want to add that thick glitter. And I'm not gonna go crazy with this, not like I did the other stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at how this turned out. So cute. I love it. And the fun tea light inside. I'm thrilled with this, how this turned out. So please head on over to Bearly Art, and if you decide to purchase something, I do have an affiliate link that I will leave in the description box. You can use my coupon code Jen Cassell for 10% off your purchase. Stop on by Creative Fabrica. They are offering my followers a free month. It's such a fun site, and it's filled with so many cool SVG files. I mean, this is just amazing. I love how it turned out. I will definitely use another file from them. I'm really, really happy with the results. And I mean, look at what you can just do with some glue and paper. How cool. Look at this hammered finish. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more crafty content. I'll see you in the next crafty video. Bye!